Hello, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Sports Medicine Podcast. I am Maddie, and I'm here with my co-host, Hayley. Hayley, you're outside.
That was a great intro. Yeah, I'm outdoors. The great outdoors. It's a beautiful day in Philly. The UV is like 2, but I do have like SPF 100 on, so I'm really ready to go. But yeah, it was like too nice to sit inside. And I have this lovely little patio, which I need to get some more patio furniture for. That's a work in progress. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm staring at the Philadelphia skyline, living the dream. How are you?
You know, not bad. I did want to say sorry.
I knew you were going to start. Are you talking about the Phillies? Don't even think I can go there.
What was it? 23 boyfriends?
8. Don't underestimate them. I mean, some of them are, well, doesn't matter if they're ready. Yeah, like I can't even. I appreciate your condolences. I do really appreciate your condolences, but in a bit of a dark place. October in Philadelphia is.
You have sunglasses on.
Yeah, you don't want to see my eyes because they're bloodshot from crying for the past week and a half now. Yeah, it just wasn't their year. It's really disappointing. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed, but yeah, it just wasn't like. I said I wasn't going to talk about it. Here I am talking about it. It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. You could just tell it ain't it. I hope they can, I don't know, get their shit together, figure some stuff out. But it's definitely a bummer here in Philly. Like October is the best month in this city because I wonder if you can hear the sirens right now. This is like so city live. I feel like I'm a live performance right now, whatever. If you can hear the sirens. I am in downtown Philly, but I'm going on my rant. So it wasn't going to happen for them, but it's a bummer because October in Philly is like truly unmatched. Like the city transforms. Red October, very short-lived this year. Rest in peace to the 2024 Phillies. I'll see you next year. You know, I'm recovering. I'm a little hurt. But again, come like whatever opening day is this year, next year, I'll be ready to go. I'll be ready to get hurt again.
Nice.
Yeah. What's good with you?
I'd like to point out, plant is still alive.
And it's bigger. If I remember correctly, it was small.
Yeah.
Last time we did this.
So, you know.
You have such a green thumb.
It's also one of those plants that's impossible to kill, so that
is it a snake plant? It kind of looks like a snake plant.
It is.
Yeah, those are the ones that you're like purposefully supposed to ignore.
Yeah,
like negligence is what's good for them.
Yeah. So
you're doing great.
I'm doing great at that, and it's supposed to improve like breathing and oxygen and stuff. So
yeah, whatever they're supposed to say, it's make you sleep better.
For us.
Yeah, I don't know. I do have a snake plant in my room, and yeah, they say it's supposed to make you sleep better. And I'm still an insomniac, so
it hasn't kicked in yet. All right, we'll give it time.
Yeah, give it time.
Well, that's actually new with me though. My birthday present from my husband was 23andMe. I've been wanting that for a long time, and no one in my family would gift it to me. And thank gosh we got it this year because apparently they're like going bankrupt.
What? So, no way. Okay, Tell me about 23andMe and then I'll give a quick caveat about a crazy 23andMe story.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So I've been wanting to know, like, just, my makeup and stuff because, my dad was adopted. And so I've always wondered, like, what? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry.
No.
Well, yeah. So it's always been like my mom's side, like super Irish.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of question there. I've met your mom's side of the family. There's no questioning that. It's Irish.
Yeah. So, and given my almost translucent skin, I wasn't like I kind of knew it was like it's going to be like Irish, English, Scottish, like some mix of that.
Yeah.
Turns out it's 93% Irish. Mostly Irish.
Nice and inbred. That's so funny. So your dad's adopted, but now we know he too is Irish.
Yeah, so it was like 93% Irish, and then there was like 6% that was like just generalized kind of like Northern Europe, mostly in like England, like English area, and then a little like tiny little bit in Scotland, and then 1% like Baltic area,
Wow.
like Greek or something, which is cool.
I was gonna say I'm like
No,
Baltic.
I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it as well. But
that's like Greek. Oh, that's why. What's where you get your olive skin from?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wow.
But no, like the reason
it's a good gift. Good job, Brian.
Because I wanted to get into the Premier League, but I wanted to pick a team that was like in with my nationality, and so it looks like I'm cheering for Liverpool. Which is
or you could go Champions League and be a Celtic fan.
Well, and then so I have to get into the League of Ireland, which is the most popular football league in Ireland. And then a lot of people are into Liverpool because that is like historically where we went when the potato famine happened, or to the US. Yeah. And then also my like other area, again, getting into like England, sort of Northern European, are the Blues or Carlisle United FC.
Okay, are you
they're not very good, but it looks like they have fun fans. So I'm like, that checks out for me.
Are you trying to like own a team?
No.
Play on one?
No. Just cheer for.
Just be a fan. Okay, I don't know what. Yeah. Okay, you're like
I want the scarves. I want to go visit. I want to go see a game.
Have you been to a Cincinnati FC game? I've heard they're a ton of fun.
Yeah, no, they are supposedly electric. We have not been yet. Yes, last weekend we were tied up. We had our town has its own cryptid. So they had a huge Frogman festival. A lot of people dressed up as Kermit. A lot of people wearing green. Brian and I had green hoodies on accidentally and just fit right in. There were live music, stand-up comedians, like art, karaoke,
this is a festival for what?
The Frogman. It's like a cryptid of this place of the town that we live near in Ohio. And apparently one day a long time ago, someone saw like a 4-foot frog just walking on 2 feet. And now we have a Frogman festival.
Do you believe that?
No. Apparently it's been debunked, and apparently it was like someone's pet iguana that like didn't have a tail.
Oh.
So
wow.
Yeah.
A rich history in Southwest Ohio.
No. Northeast, not Southwest.
Where were you? Northeast. You were in Northeast Ohio?
Oh no. Okay. Sorry. We're northeast of Cincinnati, but you were talking about the entire state.
About the state. Yes. I was saying. I was gonna say, where the fuck were you? I was like, wait. It's like, wait, that. I know I'm bad at geography, but I don't think I'm that bad. Wow, that's fascinating. So back to trying to be a fan of a team. Yeah. Back to your 23andMe.
Yes.
So have you landed on a team yet?
I mean, out of all those options, Liverpool is the best, has the best record. So they're the easiest to become like a bandwagon fan of. And they also have like soccer players who I like know of. That like have been on, like the cover of video games and such.
Yeah.
But this Carlisle United team
they're really speaking to you, I feel like.
Yeah, they've been, I believe the correct term is relegated. Like they've been demoted.
Yes.
Like multiple times over the past few years is my understanding.
You know what? It's like a stock. You're buying them on the low.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I think this could. I think you can do both. Poor Canelo's dose. I think you can do like Liverpool, and then might as well just be a Carlisle fan too. They're not in the same competition sphere now until Carlisle gets like amazingly good, and then it's gonna be like what's that? What did Rob McElhenney buy? It's gonna be like that team.
Yeah. Now they have like the TV show or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I almost said Ted Lasso, and I was like, no, that's not right.
Not the right thing.
Well, on that note of football, soccer, I was in Germany a couple weeks ago and went to a Champions League game, which I'll add that to my list of like insanely amazing sporting events I've been to, like playoff baseball. The Final Four obviously was amazing. And then I saw Dortmund play Celtic FC, which I think they're technically based in Scotland, but they have a huge Irish following. And oh my God, those fans were insane. Like the Dortmund fans were like typical Germans, like very polite, organized. They were obviously rowdy for their team, but the Celtic fans were crazy. Like we were outside the stadium just having a beer and a brat, as one does in Dortmund, before the game. And the Celtic fans are like going crazy. And the girl I travel with, her flight, like where we were going, was full of Celtic fans. And on the flight, this is like a day and a half prior to the match, they're like singing the chants. They're all drunk. It was wild. I think like Celtic could be a good match because were all Irish. And oh my God, did I not understand a single word they were saying. I was like, I know you're speaking English, but what is this? And every other word is fucking. They're just like saying fucking this, fucking that. But they were like, I mean, they were going crazy around the stadium. Like, again, it was like 5 p.m. and they're all like drunk and chanting, linking arms, walking down the streets. And then they got beat 7-1, which I haven't seen a soccer game go 7-1 since like I was 10 years old, but it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
But the environment was wild. I mean, they love their football over there for sure.
Were you just in Germany for like vacation, or like were you there for work?
Just traveling, yeah. Just I had a friend who had a flight to and from Dublin, and she had like it was booked. I think like she had booked it for April, and then she called me in February and was like, would you go to Germany? And we like found a good time. She moved her flight, so we were in Germany for a week, and then did a couple days in Dublin actually. So it was just in the land of my people. I haven't done 23andMe, but I can say with a high degree of confidence there's a lot of Irish in me. But and people in Ireland kept telling me, they're like, they'd see my American passport and they'd be like, oh my gosh, I thought you were Irish. I'd be like, I mean, I don't know if that's a compliment, but yeah, so I was just there for fun. We went like all around Germany. We were in like Dusseldorf, Cologne. We went to Dortmund, which is in like Western Germany, and then went to this small town in central Germany, and then spent a couple days in Berlin. Ich bin ein Berliner.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. And we didn't speak any German, which kind of ended up being challenging. We were like, this language is really confusing. Like couldn't figure anything out. Like reading a menu, I was like, I need the English. Like we'd have our Google Translate where like it takes a picture and translates every word. It's like, where would we be without this? But it was amazing. Yeah. And then went to Dublin for a couple days, met up with a friend whose fiance lived in Dublin for like 3 years. So he gave us the grand Dublin tour. We went out, had a good time. They can drink out there. Wow.
Yeah,
unmatched.
And the old people, they stay out until like 3 a.m.
And it's like, I loved it because it, like, the attire for going out, like, you could look like dog shit in the club. Not in the club, at the pub. Nobody cared. Like, nobody's, I don't know, like, it was my vibe. I was like, okay, I can show up to a bar in a t-shirt and jeans and I'm not going to get weird looks, or, I don't know. It was lovely. So, yeah, I was just over there, got back a couple weeks ago and back to reality, but yeah.
Now back to the work.
Don't even want to talk about it. Would totally recommend. I think you would love a football game. I think you'd love a Cincinnati. The friend I traveled with lives in Cincinnati, and she's a huge Cincinnati FC fan.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking for more friends. Have you not introduced me yet?
Well, I'll have to. She's very cool. I'll tell her to listen to this episode just so. I'll tell her I gave her a shout out. No, she's super cool. She's I think you guys would have good chats, actually. Both very cerebral.
Oh, thank you, Hayley.
Yeah, just thought I'd throw you a compliment there. But yeah, so it was a good time. We went to another sporting event. Would recommend. They're crazy. Cool. It was wild. Like, it's also fun to go to sporting events when you don't care about either team.
Yeah,
so relaxing. It's amazing. I'm like, who don't care who wins? Great. Just not having to be emotionally invested, not going to a game and it ruining my day. Wow.
Love that.
Good for us. Like crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of what's new with me, piggybacking off of that. But I'm glad you did 23andMe. One of my friends, well, I have my one 23andMe, I'll tell you offline because it's like honestly insane. But the other one, one of my friends did it and found it like literally 100% Irish.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, this is disgusting. She's like, that just means I'm super inbred. And we were like, yeah. I mean, probably. She's like, how? Like literally 100% on the 23andMe. I was like, I don't believe you.
Brian did his, I don't even remember like all of his nationality stuff that like, but his pie chart was like 4 or 5 colors and mine were like 1.5. Like it was like one for all the Irish stuff, and then there was another one, but it was also kind of the same shade of blue because they're like, you're kind of all the same.
You're all in the same region. You all of your family members were like hanging out within a 200-mile radius of one another, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was quite funny.
Maybe I should get that for my parents. I'm like trying to, it's shifting mindset to, gotta get shit for Christmas. Maybe my parents would want 23andMe.
Yeah, and
I can keep their business alive.
Specify, like we didn't want, like we're like, I don't want to contact any long lost family.
Okay,
like, I don't want any of that.
Okay, then just after we stop, I have to tell you this story then because it's so fucking crazy.
So it sounds like someone found some family.
Yes. No, even more than that. I honestly like didn't. It was so unbelievable that I had to have them retell it. For our listeners, text me if you want to hear this story because I know we only have like 10 listeners, and if you have my number, if you're listening, you probably have my number, and if you want to hear a crazy 23andMe story, text me. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
And then the only other update I had for my life, I've gotten super into biking, cycling. I don't know what you would call it.
No way. Okay. Continue. So you got super into biking.
Yeah. So there's a huge push in Ohio. They have this huge bike path that goes like all the way from Cincinnati up to Columbus.
Oh.
Not that I've actually done that or plan to.
You will here soon.
But it is so cool because like you can take this bike path and it's like it has no, like it's not on any streets.
Like it's a bike path. Yeah. Like it's dedicated.
Its own dedicated thing, which is so refreshing and new compared to Chicago, where it's like, you're putting your life on the line every time you get on that bike.
Yeah. It's literally the most unsafe thing you can do. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably correct.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Brian and I have started biking, and I've gotten like into it enough where like I even have a little like pack that I like keep my phone and like
some snacks
on.
What kind of
did you know all of the like different like
all the arm signals?
Signals, yeah, like etiquette. Because like people use the bike path and they like run on it too and stuff.
Yeah.
Or you have like older
on your left,
like, the electric bikes,
Oh, the fucking e-bikes. So did you purchase a bike? Like,
no. So I've had one. That's in not.
I'm surprised you know how to ride a bike.
Really?
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs. Like it's a rite of passage.
It is.
For a while I could even ride with like no hands. It's kind of a big deal.
I knew you were gonna. Okay, I used to like my claim to fame. Yeah, it's too dangerous to do no hands. My claim to fame when I was a kid, I used to be able to ride no hands. There was these like baseball complex we called FOP, where like the kids would play like Little League. And when I was 9, I'd like go watch my 4th grade boyfriend play Little League, and I could ride to from the baseball stadium thing with no hands, and that was like I'd flex on everybody, be like, yeah, I just rode home, no hands. Yeah. So okay, you can ride a bike, and so this is a bike you've owned for some, like you owned it prior. Yeah, brought it with in the move.
But it is like there's quite a bit of rust on it. It's been into a bike shop for different repairs several times. It was my uncle's old bike or my aunt's old bike, something like that. Like it was.
Is it like a 10 speed? Like what are we working with? Is it got a gear shift?
Yeah, it's got gear shifts on both sides. I think it was considered like very, very nice when it was bought, but it was probably bought in like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So,
now, okay, so are you like so into biking you own bike shorts, or are we not there yet?
Not there yet, but I did just upgrade the like seat of my bike.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a lot more comfy.
Good.
Then I got that little pack that holds stuff, and then
Yeah.
it has like a little like slip that's like what you can like see it in the dark.
Oh, like a light or a glow?
Yeah. It's like
Reflective.
It's, like,
it's a reflective thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Good. So you're not getting hit by cars. That's good.
And then I have been, on the old Facebook Marketplace. That's another thing. If you live in the middle of nowhere, Midwest,
dude, if you live
get
anywhere,
on Facebook Marketplace, man, people sell the weirdest stuff. Oh yeah, I bet in a city they get some weird stuff on there too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's so fun. I scroll through that as a hobby. I'm like, oh my gosh, someone was selling.
You're selling your engagement ring? No way.
Squirrel.
Oh.
Like a statue of a squirrel. That was 4 or 5 feet tall.
There's a market for it, apparently.
Yeah, someone will buy it, but I'm looking for a bike.
Okay, so you're trying to upgrade?
Yeah.
Now, I will say,
went into a bike store and saw the prices of bikes.
They're so expensive. Holy shit, they're so expensive.
That is almost like, obviously I'm being like dramatic, but I'm like, you can buy a car with that kind of money.
Okay, well, yeah, you can buy a really shitty car with that kind of money. No. The market for bikes is pretty insane. I will say my dad is a pretty avid biker. He has a hybrid bike.
Surprise me
it's pretty on brand. Like he has a hybrid bike, but like some of his friends have these carbon, fully carbon bikes. You could lift them up with a pinky, and they cost like a couple $1,000s. But it's funny you say that you are biking now. I actually just purchased a bike on Facebook Marketplace. I'm picking it up tomorrow. New
whip. Oh my gosh,
new whip.
Cities, we are like,
wow, why are we like so in sync right now? So I don't know why I've been a little impulsive when it comes to buying shit recently. So, well, okay, one, the weather is gorgeous these days, and Philly is a very bikeable city. There's a lot of especially where I live in the neighborhood, there's a lot of like one-way streets with a dedicated bike lane. So it's just like ideal. So, so then yesterday I those city bikes they have like in Chicago and shit, you can like get on the app and ride it for $2.75 or whatever, you can get on.
Oh, yeah.
So I have that.
My brother uses that as his main mode of transportation around
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I've been I'll do it in Philly and just get on the trail and ride it. So last week I rode on the trail and I was like, why I should buy a bike. So went on Facebook Marketplace and found a decent Trek commuter bike. And I was like, oof, this is kind of, I don't think the guy knows. Yeah, he not it's a super, super nice bike, but he's definitely not selling it. I was looking at what you could, yeah, which is great for me. So I'm picking up. So if I get killed,
right now.
I'm picking it up tomorrow at some co-op in West Philly. So if I get this is our last episode because I get murdered picking up my bike. It was nice knowing you, but I'm stoked. I actually just bought a lock this morning. Went to the bike shop, got a lock. I told the guy, he was like, oh, what kind of bike do you have? I was like, I'm picking it up tomorrow. Got to get the lock. It's when you put the car seat in when you're about to have the baby. That's what I was like, well, the baby's coming home from the hospital tomorrow. So we got to have the car seat ready. But yeah, I'm stoked. I've told everybody that I'm just going to be biking everywhere, dinner res, I'll be there on my bike, work,
you'd be
show up on my bike.
10 minutes for something that's in 45 minutes just so I get there on time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be biking everywhere. And yeah, Philly's a nice trail. They it's on the river, and the other side of the river they actually block off on weekends, so you can just ride on the road, no cars. So can't wait to tear it up. So stay tuned. I'm gonna as long as the bike doesn't look like shit, which the Facebook Marketplace, it looks pretty good. The guy posted 100 pictures of it. So I'm like,
oh, that's a good sign.
And we're meeting at a food co-op. So I'm okay, that's
normal.
He feels cool.
Yeah.
Can you get me into the co-op? I always kind of want to be in a co-op. So, but yeah, so I'm glad we're both in our biking era. I really don't know what got into me, but all of a sudden I was like, I need a bike. And then I posted on my Strava. Honestly, I went on my bike ride last week and I posted and I was like, why am I thinking about getting a bike? And one person commented, you should get a bike. And I was like, that's all I need.
And you're like, that's my sign.
And I ended up getting, and Facebook Marketplace had like a lot of good options. So.
No, I know everyone bought a ton of exercise equipment during COVID and then never used it. And now they're still just selling it.
Yeah.
Like you can get a Peloton on there. You can get a bike. You can get like dumbbells.
Anything. I mean, you're right. Facebook Marketplace is amazing. They've got anything and everything. Philly Facebook Marketplace is unhinged. Like there's a huge section for engagement rings. And I'm like, you're selling your engagement ring on, take it to a jewel. I'm like, it's like $18,000 engagement ring. I'm like, what? Who? I don't ask me. But there's like a huge like every time I get on, the first thing that comes up is somebody selling their engagement ring. So, well, just so you know, it's a good place to do it.
I think there might be a con in that.
It could be a scam, and you don't want to get scammed on Facebook Marketplace. Ask my mother about that.
Yeah. Or that would stink.
But yeah, so I'm glad we're both biking. I mean, it's great cardiovascular activity. I just got off the Peloton, but so like that's what also kills me. I'm like, I bought a bike, I own a Peloton, but it serves a different purpose.
It's your indoor bike versus your outdoor bike.
Outdoor bike.
You can't bring the Peloton outside.
Exactly. It's got one wheel and that wheel doesn't even work. So yeah, I'm excited for the bike. Stay tuned for updates. I'm thrilled we're both in our bike era, and a nice bike path, there's nothing like it. It's just amazing. It's cathartic. You go so fast, but like, and it's a great way to see things.
In Ohio that don't wear helmets, though, it drives me up a wall.
I'm a big,
like
always.
You all are gonna get CTE,
or just like your brain splayed out on the. Yeah, I am a big helmet person. Always use protection in the helmet department. Yeah. My friends growing up, we like back to my childhood, similar time to when this is actually after I would ride the bike with no hands because that was no helmet. After that, we went on a big like helmet. We were always wearing helmets. Like that was our thing. We were known as the helmet gang. So
nice.
Yeah, ever since then, been really into the helmet. So yeah, I got a nice helmet. Ready to ride. Born to ride. Yeah, that's awesome. We're so fit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, for the 10 people that listen to this, no one's going to be surprised.
Our tens of fans.
Didn't put together an agenda for today's record.
As you can tell, because we just talked for 27 minutes about random shit, which honestly a decent amount was sport related.
It was.
Well, kind of.
It was.
Yeah, and then your 23andMe was a great gift. So, no, yeah, like what's going on in the sports world? I want to pick your brain about the WNBA finals. I'm guessing you're watching.
That was crazy because I think everyone thought the Aces were in fact going to three-peat, and then they lost, and now it's the Lynx and New York. I think New York from last year had this major chip on their shoulder, and
why?
Because the Aces won. And they didn't. And also now this year, Sabrina Ionescu was selected for the WNBA second team, which she is not a second team.
She's a first team kind of gal.
Yeah.
So I saw that three she hit. That was crazy. Yeah, that was wild.
And then in her post game, the guy, obviously they immediately commented on it, like, did you know it was going to go in, like right when you shot it, that type of thing. And I think her response was something to the effect of like, it was just great basketball from the WNBA all second team.
Wow. Savage.
Savage. Not over it. So
what game are they in right now?
The Lynx are going to force another game. I think New York.
What do they play? A 5-game series?
Yeah. So Brian and I were trying to figure that out yesterday when we were at dinner, because I stupidly just assumed that it was the same as the NBA. And that it was 7.
Did the NBA play 7 or just 7 in the finals?
I believe it's 7 for after the
first round. Well, yeah, after the
and I was wrong. They did force a game 5. So see, that's
No,
why
game 5
that's
is
why I don't
tonight.
bet.
Yeah, game 5 of the WNBA finals is tonight. Is this the final game? Check and see if it's a 7-game series. And I don't know with the NBA. I forgot with the MLB, they play 3, 5, and then they go to 7.
Yeah, no, so it says that the finals game is tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. I was
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
game day and it was in the ticker.
It's a 5-game
wow, they forced a game 5.
Yeah.
So it's at who's the higher seeded team? Where is it? At New York?
Yeah, at New York.
Where do they play? Do you know? MSG?
Oh.
What's the name? Okay, I'm so shitty. What's the name of the team? The New York
Liberty.
There we go. Team, where do they play? They play in Brooklyn. Oh, probably at the Barclays Center.
Yeah, that's it. Barclays.
Yeah. Cool venue.
Mm-hmm. They did have one. I think they had one game this past season that was like at MSG, and
yeah,
then,
but that's not their primary. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they didn't get like any like marketing or anything for it, and then they were kind of irritated about that too, because like that's obviously like a monumental place to play in New York.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I think next year they'll probably fix that, especially if
in Minnesota.
If they're playing Indiana, they might play there.
True. Although Barclays Center is huge. I mean, it's equally large. The Nets play
it's
there.
not small, and they fill it all the time now. There's a huge Liberty following. I mean, I would say besides the Aces and now Indiana, I would say they're definitely super team-esque, like caliber kind of. They have they just have a ton of good players.
Yeah, no, I was looking at their roster and I was like, damn, they're pretty stacked. And then the Lynx, they're from Minnesota, right? Yeah, and they're kind of a cool team too, because I think they're like one of those teams that like, you know, they don't have a, you know, an Asia Wilson, and superstar, yeah.
But like everyone on their team is very, very good at basketball, and so
it works.
I think they're one of those teams that like everyone else is tuning in to watch like the Caitlin Clarks, and then they're seeing that team and they're like, oh wow, like,
they're fun to watch, yeah.
There's good basketball players in the WNBA. Who knew?
Yeah, who would have thunk? What? I'm just thinking like next season, who's going to be the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft? Paige Beckers?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it'll depend on the outcome of the season, but I think it's between Paige Beckers or I think Juju Watkins, is that her last name?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I just can't believe Paige Beckers is still in the NCAA
already. Like she is.
And it's kind of crazy.
Printing money. So I think she could go number 1 too. I think it'll depend on which it should already be decided who gets the number 1 pick next year too. Is it LA?
Whoever finished last.
Yeah, it's whoever's.
And as long as they didn't trade, as long as nobody gave them anything to trade up, I would just I just can't believe Paige Beckers is. I mean, not like in a bad. I'm just like, it's crazy. She's still in the she feels like she should be, but she's gotten injured so many times.
Yeah. She's had to deal with some injuries and stuff.
Yeah. Like how old? Let's see when Paige Beckers was born. October 20th. Oh my gosh, tomorrow's her birthday. 2001. So she's not as old as she's 23. Not as old as I thought she would be. I thought, like, I don't know. I was like, she's gonna be 25 when I look her up. No, she's 23. 2001.
Yeah, no, I was right. LA. Yeah, LA Sparks up the number 1 pick, followed by Dallas, followed by the Chicago Sky.
And Sparks are the team that have Cameron Brinks, right?
Yeah, but she was injured too.
She tore ACL, yeah.
So, but she'll be back next season. So you think
it could be pretty solid?
Yeah. So honestly, they could go with either, because I think Juju Watkins is kind of like a hybrid kind of player. Like I think she can kind of play any position.
Yeah.
Whereas Paige is definitely a guard.
Well,
I don't know what they'll do. I haven't looked into that yet, but
talk to their management. Ask them.
Slide
their DMs.
Let me just send a quick email.
Okay, well, I'll have to tune into Game 5. That sounds
Yeah,
interesting. I love a Game 5.
They've all been super close. Like,
Okay, what do you think the line is? I'm looking it up. What do you think the line on the WNBA final is?
Game 5. I bet it's 2.5.
Okay, I'm looking it up. 2.5.
Yeah, that's my guess.
WNBA final.
Q wrong answer, or well, Q correct answer.
Okay, well, let me look up odds and betting. 1 second. Where are we? The 20th. New York is a 5.5 point favorite. It's pretty big for a final.
Yeah, here we go.
That's at New York, 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tune in.
I mean the home crowded.
Home crowd, yeah.
But,
well, 5.5. I guess that's not as crazy. But yeah. What else is? I'm trying to think. What else? So that's our WNBA update.
Yep. This is just my favorite time of year. It's like I pay attention to baseball.
Yeah.
During the month of October. So that's been really fun. I've been watching a lot of the New York Cleveland series. Yeah. And anytime I tune in, it's a boring game, and then I don't. And then
you miss the walk-off home run.
Yeah, someone hits a walk-off, or like the Mets looked like they were about to be kicked out, and then they scored 12 runs, and I'm like, why do the exciting games happen when I don't watch them?
That's what I do think is funny about baseball. It is like so. One day the game could be 2-0, and then the same teams play the next day, and it's so different. But yeah, no, that's it. Again, I'm hurt. I'm hurt and disappointed, so it's been a little triggering to watch. I'm such a victim right now. It's been a little triggering for me to watch the NBA, the MLB playoffs, but I've been watching. I haven't been watching. I've been seeing highlights per Twitter. So yeah, it's been fun. I mean, truly, baseball in October is unmatched. The excitement, it's a whole different game, and it's been fun to watch. I mean, like teams like the Guardians. I mean, I hate the Mets, but and then you have against the juggernauts. I think it's the dichotomy they have in this LA.
Yeah,
you've got Shohei Ohtani.
You're underdogs.
Yeah, and then you've got Judge. You've got some huge names on these teams playing some more. I mean, there's huge names on every team, but it's you have the biggest names in baseball. Ohtani, Judge, and then you've got the Guardians who kind of...
I did not realize Judge is huge.
Oh, yeah, he's literally gigantic. Yeah, he's 6'6".
Yeah, he's
and a lot of baseball players are quite large. But no, he's actually huge. I'm going to look up how tall he is. He may be taller than that.
Why
6'7". I think he could have played football.
That's what I'm like.
Why would you play football, dude?
Oh, good point.
You make so much fucking money playing baseball. I would never. I didn't know. Okay, so I don't obviously I knew he was he's physical. I had watched him play baseball before, and I'm he's jacked. He's a baseball player. He's ripped, but I didn't realize how tall he was until I was watching an interview, and he's getting interviewed by some man who
he's sticking.
I was wow. I was oh my god, this guy is so huge, and he's 6'7".
That's crazy.
That's really tall.
Because I've seen him in the because obviously I only pay attention to baseball in October. I've seen him in the outfield, and it's zoomed out, so he just looks. I mean, he looks tall, but he looks still kind of like a normal baseball player. And then now
it's hard to tell. Yeah,
you see him at the plate, and he's bigger than the ump and the pitcher, and I'm oh my god, this guy's gigantic.
He is quite large. Let's see how tall Ohtani is. Just 6'4".
6'4".
He's 6'4". He's I was gonna say he's big, tall too. I mean, they're all 6 feet tall.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
I do love all the Judge, Your Honor references while he's playing. I love a pun. Yeah. And the announcers really lean into that. Some would say too much, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's entertaining. It's the commentators gotta work. They gotta.
So there's that. Oh, and then the Chicago Bears with our Gen Z quarterback, who's now playing very well, playing very amazing. I love it.
What's their record?
4-2, 3-2.
That's improvement.
That's a big deal for us.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We're usually like 1-4 or 1-5 right about now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and then Caleb Williams is looking good.
Oh yeah.
Fine. He's looking fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the pride and joy of Illinois.
Actually, I'm going to see Caleb Williams play Jaden Daniels in Washington, D.C.
Oh, when are you in D.C.? Why?
Next weekend.
Oh.
Nope. Yes. Next weekend.
Just for fun?
I'm meeting
some friends there.
Meeting Molly out there, and then I'm also doing something for grad school.
Oh, there you go. I love DC. It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the Washington football team or whatever they're called these days. Commanders.
Yeah. The
Commanders, Bears.
Yep.
The Bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've never been
Have you ever
before, so I'm hoping I can walk by the White House.
Never been to DC?
Private schools don't do the DC trip. Okay, I never got to go.
No, well, public schools in Indiana. Well, I didn't go to DC. I'm surprised. Well, okay, we'll take this offline, but I'm surprised your private school didn't go to DC for a little something else. Like all the private schools where I knew we were at in DC doing a little marching for something or another. But we'll take that offline. Yeah, they all went for like.
Oh no. We didn't.
It's too far for you guys.
Yeah, you have to spend money to get there. No.
Okay, you're talking like St. Viator is like some like a poorly funded, like shitty. No, you guys are doing okay. You guys have like a full ass turf field, all this shit. No, DC is amazing. I think you're gonna go to DC and be like, I should move to DC.
I heard the food scene there is incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's super quaint, very well kept. Obviously, it is our nation's capital. Yeah, you gotta get around, and it's quick to do the national. You can do like the mall pretty easily and do White House and I big DC fan. That'll be awesome.
I gotta tell you, and I know we just hopped around possibly a political take on a sports podcast, but
yeah, we didn't.
I mean, all the signs. I can't wait for November to end. I think you should have 1 or 2 signs in your lawn. Once you go over 2, it's too many. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. If you have more than 2, that's too many. Also,
not to comment on anything political, but you're here to make a comment on signs. There should be a sign maximum.
Yeah. There absolutely should be. Not to mention the fact that if you have that one sign that's supporting, one candidate, we as like as a community can probably take an educated guess how you're gonna like vote or who you're cheering for everywhere else.
You're an election curmudgeon.
That you're going the same, like that you're in the same direction.
Yeah, You're like, why does somebody have 50 signs for 50 different people, all of the same party?
Correct. The only time you should have more than one sign is if you're separating the parties. And then that could lead to an interesting discussion. But like to have all these signs taking up all this space on the grass, it looks awful. It looks so ugly.
All right. She's anti-sign, everybody.
But
she encourages you to vote.
Put a sports flag up like a normal person.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but the election in Ohio is really big though. So
we're aware. Every other commercial we get something.
That's yeah. So yeah. Okay. So you're anti-sign.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. I'll reel it back into sports now.
No, that's funny. I mean, yeah, it's almost election time. Well, okay, we'll go to
DC. Like I'm very like organized, and it looks so.
Okay, you're saying it strictly from an aesthetics perspective. Like your yard looks like shit when you've got 50 signs. Okay, yeah. That's where your stance on signs is coming from. I just wanted to clarify.
Yes, totally. Oh my gosh, and then it makes the towns look worse too. I'm like, this is not helping anyone's property value right now, guys. Like,
oh my god,
regardless of what you think.
Yeah. Okay. Luckily, you just bought. We don't need to worry about the properry value. It'll rebound.
Right,
November 6th. November 6th. The signs will come down.
Thank
God.
No.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. They really do clutter up your yard. And if you're mowing that lawn, you got to take all those signs out every time you mow.
Yeah.
Unless you weed whack around them or something. But yeah. All right. Hot takes. I respect it. But back to maybe we can cap off. Today's a big day in college football.
Huge. Oh my gosh. Day. Now we have the 12-team playoff.
Okay, like I don't
like giving their opinion on.
Yeah, I don't know like why. And maybe it's because Purdue is absolutely horrible.
How many coaches have we fired this year?
He'll get fired. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we already fired one.
Well, their offensive coordinator they got rid of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay. So we're at one right now, but we're probably looking at two.
Well, the head coach, I'm going to go out on a limb and say will get fired at maybe not mid-season, but I don't think he'll make it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's not. I don't know what the buyout is. I'd have to look, but if I had to guess, I do not think he will be back in West Lafayette come next year. But that's my hunch. And that's okay. Purdue is whatever. My expectations for Purdue football are always absolute garbage. Never care. So I've been like oddly into like big games on college football, and I've been watching game day like almost every weekend. I'll say I want Kirk Herbstreit's skincare routine. He looks amazing. Like I'm not saying oh my god he's so hot or attractive. I'm just saying his skin, he's keeping it tight. I don't know what he's doing. I want to know. He lives in Cincinnati, doesn't he?
I believe he does. Yes. So if I see it, I will ask. I'm like, what's
ask him what products he's using. And if he's got, and you know what I'm more here for? His dog. And I don't even like dogs. I'll come out and say it. I dislike dogs. But have you seen his dog, Ben?
Yes,
he takes him on the road. He takes him to Thursday Night Football. It takes him to the college game day, and he gets a little credential. And he's like the fluffiest golden retriever I've ever seen. I'm such a Ben fan. Like the rest game day. I'm like, put the camera on Ben. Like Ben was out last week, didn't travel. I'm like turning this shit off. No Ben, no can't even. But I've been watching all the game day. And I think maybe just in general, there've been really good matchups this year. Like and maybe that's the new SEC. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just here for a good game. Like today, there's two, and I want us both to make predictions. That's maybe how we can close, and so we can look back and see how wrong we are.
Awesome, I love it.
Because I mean, there's a lot of big. Like, also, I'll just
give a shout out to Texas. Calling it right now.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. I'll start with, I'll give a shout out again. Purdue sucks. Indiana.
Yeah, that's
undefeated.
That's nowhere.
I know they're looking, and they're legit. Like I watched, I say they're legit. I know nothing about football, but I watched them play, and I was like, this looks like a good football team. So they're good. They play like somebody big on Big Noon kickoff. Who do they play? Nebraska. Good game.
Yeah, Nebraska.
And then 3:30 today, Tennessee, Alabama at Tennessee.
And like neither of them can afford to lose.
Both of them whoever doesn't win may not make the CFP. I honestly don't even know where teams are. I'm shooting from the hip. Whoever loses, I think could be. I'm like, and again, I'm cleaning my apartment while like listening to College Football Game Day on Volume 2, and I feel like they said something about like if one team loses, they're at risk for maybe not making the CFP.
Yep.
Or maybe it's missing the SEC. I don't know. Whatever. What's your prediction? Tennessee, Alabama, 3:30 kick, good weather in Knoxville, according to Game Day.
I'm thinking
both teams have one loss. I don't know who Tennessee lost to. Any idea?
Yeah, but I know Alabama's loss was not at the same level of.
Well, they lost to. Didn't they lose
to Northern Illinois? But
they lost to Vandy. Oh,
it was a bad loss. Yeah,
that was crazy. And Tennessee football.
Yeah, and that was like the first time Vanderbilt beat
anybody basically.
Yeah, in like
okay.
years of its existence.
Oh, Tennessee lost. Tennessee lost to Arkansas like 2 weeks ago. Okay, well, who are you going with?
Tennessee.
Rocky Top. What do you think the final is? I'm going to put it in the chat so we can hold each other accountable to being wrong. Tennessee. So you have Tennessee winning.
They're going to, I'm not going to try and guess like the score, but I think.
But how much? Just how much do you think they're going to win by?
Touchdown, 7 points.
7. I am going to say Tennessee. Field goal 3.
Ooh. Like an
I don't know. They're at home. I don't think maybe not like a last second, but like had to seal the deal. I just don't think Alabama. I think they've shown some weaknesses.
Yeah, I don't think they got it this year.
I don't think they got it. Now, game of the night, Texas, Georgia.
Georgia by a million.
Maybe Georgia because the Bulldog wasn't allowed to comment. I don't know if you know, but him and the Longhorn have beef. Have you seen the video?
So I have beef with Longhorns as well.
And I'm here for the mascot. Like Purdue played Oregon last night. I'm texting my dad, "Have you seen Puddles, the Oregon duck?" And he's like, actually, yeah, the duck's all over the place. Yeah, Puddles. It's a her, I think, actually, too. Female empowerment. Yeah, no, Puddles. And I texted my dad. I'm like, does Puddles travel? And he sends me a picture from his photographer, and he's like, yeah, Puddles. He did like an on the field interview, and he's like, Puddles flipped off the cameraman during my on the field interview. I was like, Puddles is known for being problematic. So I'm here for the mascots, but yeah, I need to remember why the Georgia Bulldog couldn't travel, but he's not at the game, and him and Bevo have beef.
Interesting.
No pun intended, because I think Bevo's a cow. Longhorn. Okay, Texas. So Texas, Georgia, 7:30 at Texas. And you're saying Georgia?
Yeah, by a million.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, Georgia. You're saying Georgia by, I need you to quantify a million for me. And mostly because I just want to see how wrong we are. That's like my
2
point.
scores. I'll say 15? At least 10.
On the road?
At least 10,
Texas?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I think you're crazy, but I think Texas
Bold.
by 10.
Oh, there. All right. Well,
I think Texas, they're like, will Texas win the national championship? Absolutely not. But I think they're gonna have like a really exciting season and then lose in the first round of the CFP. That's my thoughts. It's gonna be like really awesome. They're great. They're undefeated, and then it's gonna be super disappointing for them. Hook 'em. And I was watching game day, and then I remembered your bachelorette was in Nashville, or in Austin. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, I've been to Austin. They were like showing this
Grand Prix this weekend too.
Oh really? F1?
Yeah.
Damn, busy time in Austin. All right, well, I can't wait to see how wrong we are. I'll send you that screenshot. I mean, yeah, we aren't good at this stuff, but that's why we do it. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, this is real. It was fun. Anything else? I feel like it's good.
Get us out of here. Thank you to our tens of listeners for tuning in to another
You're the real ones.
Episode.
Yeah.
This has been incredible. Now I think Hayley and I are going to go out and get on the bikes. But this has been your weekly dose of the Sports Medicine Podcast. See you next time.
Bye.